Sup guys, Mist here, and today we're going to be reviewing My Hero Academia chapter 297. Personally, I feel like chapter 297 was extremely underwhelming. Thanks for watching the video.
Psych! That's the wrong number!
So the chapter starts off with a whole lot of information, we're getting information about Tartarus. So the further towards the ground you go, the higher the level of threat of the villains, This Tartarus seemed a whole lot like Impel Down, if I must be honest. Like all the One Piece fans know Impel Down. Like yeah, everyone knows that. One Piece fans, go check out the recent One Piece video, by the way, if you guys are One Piece fan. But yeah, so that's the beginning of the chapter. We get information on Tartarus. And then towards the chapter, as we progress in the chapter, we see security is talking about how all these villains aren't really humans, but they're monsters in humans' clothing. And then we find out that there's a breach within the prison, and this guy just lost his brother. And it turns out that the breach was Shigaraki, dun dun dun, and the normals, I guess, anti-normals. So yeah, we get fights. Like, it's My Hero Academia. You're bound to get fights there. Normal versus the security, and then security increases, but it was pointless because All For One was like, "Hey, Shigaraki, we need more villains, so break everyone out." And like, bam, we get villains popping out of nowhere. We get people like Moonfish. We get Overhaul. We get, I think, what looks like Stain. We get Muscular. We get this really odd-looking lady. I mean, she's not odd. She looks new. She new. I could be wrong. I don't remember seeing her. And then from then onwards, we get the official big bad breaking out, and bam, that's the end of the chapter. Which is pretty cool. I think it was a really good chapter. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't astounding, but it was good. It was like a 2.3 out of 5 in my opinion. There's a whole lot going on there, like a whole lot of information. What I loved about the chapter is that we finally got to see how Shigaraki has finally realized that he's being used. Like, obviously, he's been given power by All For One, but what he just realizes that he wasn't the one in control this whole time. He's realized that he's more of a pawn than he is actually a main player in this game of All For One. This takes us back to what All Might said about All For One. He manipulates people. He makes them think like, hey, you know what, I'm right and you're wrong. Hey, no, don't do it this way, do it that way. And now we're finally getting to see this between him and Shigaraki. Like, I think that's what this kind of makes All For One a great villain, because he knows what he's doing. He's manipulative. He's smart when he's doing things. He doesn't just go head on. He doesn't go bronze and then brains, but it's brains and then bronze. Like, All For One really knows what he's doing. He's using Shigaraki, but Shigaraki doesn't really realize it until now. Because this also takes us back to the previous chapter of My Hero Academia. I think it's titled Tenacious, when Deku was like, Shigaraki seemed as if he needed help. And to me, I was like, finally, we're getting this chemistry. Like, I remember I spoke to a few of my friends. My friends like, I already see where My Hero Academia is going. There's gonna be this whole all-out fight, bam, 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 and then at the end they're gonna be like, Shigaraki, please help us. I know you're still in there. But yeah, I guess it was a good chapter. Like I said, it was a good chapter. This is like it left me with a whole lot of questions. Like, for example, we saw Overhaul. Like, Overhaul is one of my favorite villains, but like, is Overhaul useful if he doesn't have his arms? And we got to see something that looked like Stain. I think that was Stain. I mean, if you look at the hair and you look at his feet, I mean, he's not wearing shoes, but I don't remember if Stain wore shoes or not. But he looked like Stain, in my opinion. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. I'd love to be informed if I'm wrong or not. But yeah, we got to see Stain, I guess. We got to see Muscular. What was really disappointing in this chapter? Like, what was really disappointing is that they were recruiting new big bads. Honestly, I expected new people, like new characters that we've never seen before. New characters with OP power, That's what I expected, but instead we got people like Muscular, a two that got defeated by Deku. We got people like Moonfish, a dude that got defeated by Red Riot. I think for sure these two characters, Muscular and Moonfish, were in some way significant in like the building of character for the two heroes, Red Riot and Deku. Because I know, if I remember clearly, there was that fight against Moonfish. It was Red Riot versus Moonfish. That's when we saw Red Riot unbreakable, if I remember correctly. That was the first time we saw it. It was kind of like a turn in events for Red Riot. That's when he finally grew up. He's like, hey, I want to be a hero, and there are people I have to protect, and that means putting my life on the line. That was like the first time, and then the second time was of course with was at Chisaki's place when they're fighting Overhaul's crew. That was the second time where he had like this moment where he's like, I'm putting my life on the line. But enough of that. Talking about Moonfish. So that was like for Moonfish. I think that's where he's significant in this because he made a difference in Red Right's life. And then with Muscular, I guess he kind of did make a difference in Deku's life because you remember the whole fight between Deku and Muscular. There was this ongoing, it was like Deku's like, I'm gonna use 1000%, and bam, like, oh, that didn't work. I'm gonna use more power, bam, and that didn't work. Muscular's like, you can throw your punches, kid, but I'm still gonna beat you. So I think that those two characters, Moonfish and Muscular, do play a role in this, I guess, because they did build the character of the two heroes, Red Right and Deku. So I guess sure, that's why they were there. But yeah, I really expected like new big bads, and also I wonder who's this new lady. Who's this new lady? She looks new. I don't think I've seen it before. I could have probably missed her. I don't know. Probably forgot. I don't know. But if you guys know who she is, then I guess drop a comment and tell me who she is. If you don't, then that's cool. Um, but yeah, what's my take on that? What else is there? That's basically it. Like for me, like I said, at first glance, I was like, hey, this chapter isn't it. It wasn't amazing. I expected like a whole lot of action. To be honest, I expected some struggle in this thing. I expected there to be like a whole lot of struggles because I think I've basically been influenced by One Piece, like the whole how Luffy and just Luffy breaking into Impel Down. There was a whole lot of struggles going on. So I expected the exact same thing for Shigaraki. But for Shigaraki, it seemed a bit easier for him. I guess it was going to be easier because of the whole kinetic link. I guess is that telekinesis, not telekinesis, like that whole link towards mind, like how All for One is within Shigaraki's body. So it's easier for him to find All for One's location, I guess. But at least put up some some fight. If this prison is supposed to be one of the strongest prisons in the whole of the My Hero Academia universe, they shouldn't be harder to penetrate. Shouldn't there be more powerful people there? And I guess like I think this was an amazing move by All for One. Now that the villains have been captured, well, some of the leagues of villains have been captured, and the heroes are resting. It's time for Big Bat to play, and I think it's amazing. I think personally, I feel that All for One is a top tier villain. He's like the villain. Like when you think about it, suit and tie, that smile. It's just he's got he's got it. He's just got it. He's doing his thing well. Yeah, I think All for One is a top tier villain. He's really good at what he's doing. Like the whole from season was it season 3, season 4? I think it was season 3. From the whole season 3 fight with All Might, and think making the heroes think that they've won, but meanwhile it was all part of his plan. I think All for One is an amazing villain. But it's just that this chapter here it didn't really show much. Sure, they gave us a whole lot of information. They gave us information on the on the prison and stuff, but like I really expected more. I expected more from this chapter. Yeah, I guess that's just me. But yeah, it's like yeah, that's just my take on chapter 297. So yeah, as always from my side, what I always say. What you know about anime, boy?